Hello there, poets. This week we are focusing more on slam poetry or spoken word poetry. Last week you watched my favorite documentary called Louder Than a Bomb, and it followed those four high school students, those seniors, and it gave you a look at what spoken word poetry can be. So this week, today and Wednesday, you are going to examine some more spoken word poetry. You're going to analyze it, and then you're going to write and record your own spoken word poem. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves, one thing at a time. So, the first thing that we're going to do this week is we're going to examine some spoken word poems. So, there were 5 poems in the film that you watched. I'm going to have you analyze 5 more. So, I have chosen 3 of my favorites that I would like for you to listen to. Okay, they're right here. These are hyperlinked, so you should just be able to click on this and it'll open up the YouTube video for you. If your links are not working, please email me as soon as possible so I can get them cleared for you. I did approve all of them. All of them are approved, so you shouldn't have an issue, but make sure that you let me know if you do. So as you're listening to these poems, you're going to tell me what the poem is about and what poetic devices you hear. So remember that poetic devices are things like rhyme, repetition, simile, metaphor, personification, onomatopoeia, and hyperbole. Okay, once you identify a device, you have to give an example of it. So if you think that this poem, I Can't Read, uses repetition, you need to tell me what lines are repeated. Or if there's a simile, you need to pause the video and you need to write it down. Again, if it's easier for you to do this chart on paper and then take photo evidence of it and submit that to the Google Turn-In, that's totally fine, okay? So I Can't Read, Knock Knock, and Hands. These are the 3 that everyone is doing, okay? You must do these 3. And then down here, there are 4 additional poems, and you're going to choose 2. You get to choose now. You get to choose these 2 of what you want to look at and what you analyze. And if you decide that you want to go out on your own and find your own spoken word poems to analyze, you may do that. You just have to put the link in one of these boxes. That way I can go and listen to it and see what you found. Again, same 2 questions. What's the poem about? And then what devices does it use? So for these 4, because they're optional or you have a choice, I gave you a little bit of information about each of the poems. So this first one is the Parkland Poets. It is a spoken word poem written after the students experienced a school shooting in February 2018. And that school shooting is like really famous. It was very deadly. It killed 17 people, injured 17 others. And these are the students that were involved in the shooting, and they created a spoken word poem. The next one is called Mixed People. It's about a girl who explores like her biracial culture and what people expect of her and how that affects her and how she identifies as a person. This one, Perfect, is about a girl who feels pressure from her mother to be perfect. She goes through a bunch of different experiences. And finally, the last one is called To This Day, which is by a guy named Shane, and he explores what it's like to be bullied or how bullying affected him as a person. I will warn you that just like in our film, some of these poems contain language, but they've all been approved. This is all fine, and it's all words that you've heard before. So just like try and keep an open mind as you are listening and see which of these poets you can identify with. The second part of this assignment is to start brainstorming the idea for your spoken word poem. Okay, so we know that poetry is meant to express emotions, and spoken word in particular is meant to express extreme or complex emotions or situations in our lives. A lot of the poems that you hear or that you've seen are about like some pretty heavy stuff, right? So I want you to start brainstorming what you could write about. So you want to think about a time in your life when you felt an extreme or complex emotion, or you were in an extreme or complex situation. Now, I know that's a really difficult thing for me to ask of you. So I want you to be confident that these poems are yours, right? Yes, I'm asking you to share them with me, but I'm the only person you're sharing them with unless you decide that you want to share them with someone else. Okay? We're not putting them on blast out there on the internet. We're not throwing them out on Instagram. Okay, these are pieces of you, right? And as we express and put out pieces of ourselves, we want to make sure that we're safe. And I totally get that. So I really want you to write something real, and something that has happened to you or something that you're experiencing. And I want it to be real and genuine, but I want you to know that you're safe, okay? And your poems are safe, and your emotions and your feelings are safe in this space, and that I will keep them safe, all right? In order to brainstorm some of these ideas, I want you guys to use this mind mapping site. It's called Bubble US. And so the great thing about Bubble without an E, okay, just click the link, is that you can create a mind map without signing in. So you're going to hit start creating now, or start now, right here, start without signing in. And it's going to start you here with this yellow bubble. All right, and maybe you're going to put in here your spoken word topics. All right, so you just click in here and you can type, and you can change the color of your bubble. You can mess around with this as much as you want, or as little as you want. So I like this blue color. Excuse me. Thank you. All right. And so every time you click this button, it's going to add a topic here for you. And see how this is connected? You want to make sure that you're doing this one, add a child bubble. If you hover over it, it says add child, versus add a parent bubble, because those are different, okay? That will give you a second yellow bubble, which we don't want. And then how you continue your mind map is totally up to you. So maybe you want to put happy over here, and then maybe you want to put sad over here. Okay. Let's say you need to have a minimum of 3 emotions. And so let me add another one, because I would never ask you to do something that I couldn't do. I'll go excited. Okay, and I mean, sad is like, sad and happy are, basic words. So maybe under, let's do happy first. Maybe under happy, I'm gonna put my wedding day. Maybe I'm gonna put memories with my brother before he moved away. He lives in Arizona now. What a jerk, right? It's always sunny there. Oh, and I will put keeping in touch with my high school friends. I have 3 of them that I still keep in touch with that I love, and they're great. Okay, so you see how like my map is like moving all over the place? If you hit this button right here, it's going to recenter your whole map, which will be nice, because if you have like a lot of thoughts going on, you're just going to be able to hit that button and I'll put them all back for you. All right, so let's do sad. Sad things I could write about are my grandpa died when I was 10. My friend's suicide, which happened when I was in 11th grade. So I could write about that. And let's say losing friends. I have lost some friends, over the years as things change and get crazy. So things I'm excited about. Becoming a mom, duh. I was excited about being the first person in my family to go to college and then graduate. And if you're talking about things that you're excited about, you can always think about the future, right? And I'm always excited about being your teacher. So let's say minimum, you need 3 emotions with 3 experiences to go along with each of those emotions. All right. And so here's what you can do with your bubble. You can sign in to save. So make sure if it's going to take you more than one sitting that you sign in to save. You can download this, right? You can download it as a JPEG or a PNG. Either of those is fine. The other thing you can do is you can just take a screenshot. And then the last thing that you're going to do for this assignment is you're going to insert your screenshot into this document. So I just went to insert image from computer, and here's mine. Okay. So I'll hit open, and I'll actually leave mine in here for you. That way you can see what it looks like. I'll make it a little bit smaller. But you will put your mind map in here, and then you'll submit this document back to Google Classroom. Ms. Miller and I will be available on Monday from 1 to 1:30 or a little bit longer, depending on what you need. Should you need assistance, please come to that group chat, or you can always email me privately if you'd rather do that. I hope that you are well and that you enjoy this activity. I'll talk to you soon.